Western Cape has a long history of rallying, providing beautiful backdrops and ideal roads for superfast special stages. Little wonder then that the locals are big rally fans and always welcome the fraternity with open arms. The atmosphere is always one of excitement, which also helps competitors to put in that extra little effort. The previous round of the South African Rally Championship, the Garden Route Rally, brought the sport back to the Southern Cape for the first time in 17 years, and it certainly provided plenty of action. Charles Wilken in the Basil Reed Ford was the victim of a number of unfortunate incidents which hampered his progress, while Hergen Fecken in his BP Volkswagen Polo had to withdraw because of a blown engine. BP Polo teammate Enzo Keen chased down the rally leader, as did Johnny Gemmell in the Castrol Toyota Auris. They could do very little to catch Mark Renier and Robin Houghton in the Sasol Ford Fiesta. Jan Habich in the third BP Polo damaged his suspension after hitting a pile of logs, which left John Williams in the second Sasol Ford nowhere to go. Keane and navigator Guy Hodgson kept their championship hopes alive by finishing fourth. Leroy Polter and Eldien Coetzee in the second Castrol Toyota were third, behind teammates Gemmell and Drew Sturrock. But Renier and Houghton clinched their third successive win to go top of the standings with 2 rounds to go. The Toyota Cape Dealer Rally is proudly brought to you by Toyota. The 7th round of the South African Rally Championship, the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally, brought the sport to the Western Cape for the first time this season, with a headquarters and start at McCarthy Toyota in Tableview. The area is known for its fanatic motorsport and particularly rally fans, and they had ample opportunity of getting a close look at their favorite cars and stars.
This is my car.
Sunny, warm conditions lay ahead for competitors and spectators alike, with little chance of rain, so stage surfaces were bound to play a role in the outcome of the event. As championship leaders, Mark Renier and Robin Houghton would be first on the road.
We're leading the championship. We've got to make sure that we, do a clean run, and that's the intention this morning, to go out there, have a clean run, and see sort of what the pace is. It's pretty much the same sort of sentiment I had in Iceland.
We're here to try hard. Our strategy is to push very hard. This is a different format of event. It's almost like a Grand Prix. It's flat out. Very little to stop for. So reading the road's important, and committing to those long blind rises. We'll try very hard. I think the Volkswagens can do well here. They're strong cars. They've got good top-end speed, and that might put us much closer to the competition.
This is completely different to the last event. This has got a lot of long straights and some jumps and dips, but I think the nature of this event, everyone will be close together there at the front, so just a little mistake here or there and you're down a little bit.
So the rally action gets underway with Mark Renier and Robin Houghton in the Sasol Ford Fiesta leading them off the starting ramp, leading the championship by 4 points. As they go into this event, then Rothenbach and Klinger in the Green Fuels Ford Fiesta, currently in second position in the championship. Third, Keane and Hodgson in the BP Volkswagen Polo, trailing by 9 points in the standings. And Johnny Gemmell and Drew Sturrock in the Castrol Toyota Auris, 11 points off the pace.
Stage 1 of 9 then. Sandkloof. It's going to be a 13.31 kilometer stage. Pretty short, but it's going to be flat out wide open. And it's going to be all about Renier leading things out. It's been a long time since he's been in this position to be the first man on the road.
Yeah, and I don't think he's very happy about that. It's a kind of an anomaly in the championship at the moment, where if you are the championship leader, you have the disadvantage of cleaning the road on the first day.
Renier is going to be brimming with confidence coming off that last win, so he knows he's got an ideal setup on the car. All he's doing is checking out the roads for now. He would set the benchmark.
Rothenbach and Klinger, and they will be chasing down a time of 7 minutes 17.6 seconds set by Renier and Houghton.
30 max bump, 30 max bump, and jump, 120, long neck max right, maybe plus of a bump.
That's really giving us an idea of what it is all about. It is pinned wide open. Kuhn, the number 1 driver, on board with him.
And the left 4 now. Whoa, and go left of it. You know. Oh, mother. Okay, I'll go through there. Go through there.
An early mistake in the rally for Kuhn. And on a short 13-kilometer stage, you're not going to be able to make much back on that.
And he would lose about 12 seconds as a result of that. Now, Johnny Gemmell and Drew Sturrock, everybody so far has not been able to beat the time set by Mark Grenier. Can this crew do it?
Yeah, Gemmell has got a lot riding on this one as well, but it's the curse of driving your own rally as well. Toyota want to take the Toyota win.
Well, he's absolutely flat out, and Gemmell goes 10.1 seconds faster than anybody else in that stage. Now, Fecken and Aries.
Jump. Sliding danger, bad the jump. And sliding cover easy bump, see 400. Easy bump. Then 100, turn left 9, caution through gate. Bad step down, I can't see anything. Bad step down, turn left 9 through gate.
The big jumps have always been his problem, and he'd be hoping to not repeat the problems he had at the previous rally.
Right one, it is right king, right left.
And John Williams and Cobus Frey in the Sassel Ford would go 21.6 seconds slower than Gemmell. Now, Wilken and Gottrich coming off a non-finish in the previous round. They certainly would like to make up for that one. The Fords are seemingly being matched by the Toyotas at this point.
Yeah, good to see that. Poulter then the second of the Toyotas, and he has historically this year been the king of day number 2. He's got to dial in day number 1 at the Toyota Rally.
Well, he's got his foot down, and at the end of this oh, he's just struggling a little bit there. But at the end of this stage, he would go second fastest to his teammate, only 4.2 seconds down.
De Villiers just feeling his way around now. I looked at this rally and the layout. It's got De Villiers written all over it. It's just flat out high speed. And as long as they get the setup right on the polos, he should be able to run high.
Yeah, he loves these kind of conditions. And he's getting better and better with every passing rally. Jan Habig and Robert Paisley now. They also typically absolutely foot flat.
So many of these drivers, and especially Habig, looking for a little bit more luck on his side. He was running good pace down at the Garden Route before he had to retire. And now we go back with Visser Du Plessis. Remember, he didn't even start the previous rally because of a brake caliper problem. So it's good to see both of the Pertex Peugeots lining up.
Absolutely right, and hopefully it will last a little bit longer. His teammate Hein Latergan has had a very good run so far this season. Latergan and John van der Merwe. Very good run and looking very, very fast on this stage.
First of the team total Toyotas. This is going to be JP Damso and Carolyn Swan. Now JP runs good on these kind of stages. He knows this area very well, and we expect good results on this rally.
Absolutely right. This is virtually where he grew up as a rallyist, of course. And he would go 6th fastest on the stage. Now, Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toy in the Grand Mark Volkswagen Polo.
Bit ragged on stage number 1. Remember, he's trying to defend a top 5 in the championship.
Been very consistent so far. There's the second of the team total Toyota Auris cars.
And left 2 over plus. Go through small gate. 60 down. Concrete bridge, right 7.
And Musa and Martin would go 23.8 seconds off the pace. Maybe that is some kind of a problem. Wilro Dippenaar now and Derek Jacobs in the McCarthy Toyota Run X making a bit of a mistake, and that will cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, they'll be hoping that's the only one on the rally, and to lose it on the first stage, you can still make that up because there's some massive fast stages coming out.
Youngster from Namibia has been very impressive so far this season. Now it's Sebastian Klaassen and Cindy Harding, also a local pairing in the Monster Energy Drink Subaru. And the results of stage 1 with a 1-2 for Toyota. Gemmell ahead of Poulter by 4.2 seconds. Grenier paying the price for being first on the road in 3rd. Rotenbach down in 8th and Wilken in 9th. Opportunity now to service before the start of the long second stage.
Do a few tweaks in that now, and then we'll see the long one. I think that's going to be a bit of a decider.
We had a good stage there, and it felt good. A bit slippy, but no, it felt good. And Leroy is also just behind me, so that's nice.
We've done quite a lot of changes. The car's feeling very good. We had a small misfire through the water splash, so that was a bit irritating, but I think the car's really working well and it's feeling good.
Stage 2, and this is where the rally is going to start. Niverdam, 38.17 kilometers, a monster of a stage.
Yep, we're just a little bit further up the R45 towards Moereesburg, and this is an area known for its muggies in the summer heat. Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman currently in 16th position, but they're running with problems, very, very slow in this stage. In fact, they would retire after the stage with engine problems.
Claassen still battling to get the setup on the Subaru as well. Said after the stage, battled with massive understeer, and they were going to have to turn some screws after this one.
Dippenaar and Jacobs currently in 17th position overall after a steady start in stage 1, seemingly now without any problems. Nice and consistent run for them. Latergan van der Merwe now 4th overall after stage 1.
Pertex Peugeot. Now they've got a new handling package that was developed in Europe, so they're finally getting to unleash the potential of that car.
Musa and Martin just hovering outside the top 10 after a steady start. This is Ryan and De Toy.
The top privateer entry, running in that 5th place and just bringing home consistent finishes every time. Now, here is the man that needs to start pushing.
Cronje and Houghton currently in 3rd position overall, only 10.1 seconds off the pace, but they're still first on the road, remember, so they're still sweeping the road for the rest of the competitors.
Aggressive and pushing. Normally, stage number 2 is where he drops the hammer. De Villiers in the zone.
In 10th place overall, but they would go 10th fastest in this stage. It's a 38-kilometer stage, and they would be about half a second per kilometer slower than the pace.
Herken Fecken. Look at how tight it is through sections like this, through the farm, and then back out into the blast.
Currently lying in 5th position overall. He would like to improve on that, but not take any chances on this stage. Williams and Frey. The 2nd, Sassel Ford, currently in 11th position overall.
Right 6, left 3. Get easy bumped up. Left 2 kite, 130, right 9, bad out, right 9, bad out.
Janabich and Robert Paisley in the BP Volkswagen Polo currently in an uncharacteristic 7th position overall.
And would maintain that to take another 7th position on stage number 2.
Teammates Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson putting the hammer down. They are only in 12th position after the first stage, 22 seconds off the pace. They will go on and set the 6th fastest time on the stage.
Keane is always so good at just figuring out the rally, just eases his way in and then builds up the pace.
Been off the boil somewhat lately in the season, Rothenbach and Klinger, they're hoping for a good result, coming into the stage in 8th position overall.
100 max bumps. 100 max bumps. 120, 120 max bump and slow jump into narrow 4 left right through gate.
Obvious from those shots, it is just all about horsepower on stage number 2. 38 kilometers as well at max pace.
Damso and Swan in the team total Toyota Auris, definitely one of the dark horse crews, I reckon, on this rally. They know this very well, and he is currently lying in 6th position overall, only 12 seconds off the pace.
Nice and tight, and then it just opens wide open again. Wilkin and Godrich coming off a dismal season so far, really wanting to turn things around. Coming off a 9th place in stage number 1 and looking like they're running a solid pace in this one.
Taking it easy, relatively speaking, I would say, if that's possible. But they certainly don't need to have any early incidents.
Space on out. Space on out. 550 now.
And they would go 3rd fastest on the stage. Now, Poulter and Kutsia currently in 2nd position behind their teammates by a margin of only 4.2 seconds.
Poulter is figuring out how to drive these rallies. Day number 1 is coming to him quite nicely. 2nd place, and he would go on to post the 2nd fastest in this stage once again. Did say after the stage, the huge jumps are just so hard to judge.
Indeed, Toyota, Johnny Gimmel and Drew Sturrock in the Castrol Toyota Auris coming into this stage as the rally leaders by 4.2 seconds. And I reckon the strategy at this point, Matt, would be just try and stretch that.
115, easy right plus.
So Gimmel taking a 3.1 second victory ahead of his teammate Poulter, but the big movers were Wilkin and Damso, 3rd and 4th respectively on that stage, with Rothenbach in 5th. Keane then leads out the VW Chase group. De Villiers another 10th place.
After a tough stage 2, another chance for service.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough 2 stages for us. This last stage now, our radiator got completely clogged, so we ended up short shifting just to try and nurse it to the end of the stage. But it's all a part of the game, you know. So I'm not overly upset where we're lying, but we'll have to see what tomorrow brings us. The rally's tomorrow.
We had a good practice on Wednesday. We did a bit of shock settings and stuff like that. And we feel a lot more comfortable with the car. And yeah, maybe the roads suit my driving, so it's all right. So we're going quite well.
It's a better start, a bit slow in the first stage, but yeah, consistent. We'll see now what's going to happen on the tar, but it's going to be difficult because no one wants to be first on the road tomorrow. So we'll see what's going to happen.
After 2 stages, it's a Toyota 1-2 with Johnny Gemmell and Drew Starrett leading Leroy Poulter and Alvin Coetzee by 7.3 seconds. JP Damso and Caroline Swan in a solid 3rd position. And something we don't often see, the Fords outside the top 5 with Charles Wilkin and Greg Godridge leading that contingent.
We head now to stage number 3. Killarney 1, 14.63, all tarmac. Now there's going to be a couple of fast lads that can really hold it together on the asphalt.
Indeed, they're going to do 7 laps of the Killarney track in the opposite direction this time. Each crew 7 laps, and that means that we're going to have a number of cars on the stage at the same time, which can also complicate matters.
Watch out for the Fords to start showing some dominance here as well, because they've got a different kind of suspension setup. They can run their cars lower and really dial into the conditions. And I think the VWs and the Toyotas are going to battle in this one.
Also another factor, the setting sun, which is right in the crew's eyes as it goes through the old Malmesbury sweep in the wrong direction, literally blinds them. We go on board with Conrad Rothenbach and Nicholas Klinger into Cape Town corner.
Some wide lines from Cronje there as it went down into Cape Town corner.
Max left maybe.
Well, of course, some drivers here have lots of circuit experience, so it'll be interesting to see. I reckon that Charles Wilkin, that man there, is probably the favorite to win this stage. He is super fast.
He's got a lot of history around this track, almost unbeaten.
Just look at the way in which he sweeps past the Sassel Ford there of John Williams.
Now, John Williams, he had some problems with his gear ratios as well, and he said on the tarmac he was just getting drilled down the straights. So, unfortunately, one of the Fords that didn't luck out in this situation.
Volkswagen's not as adaptable to tarmac conditions as the more modern Fords and Peugeots and the likes. So the Volkswagens will not be able to be adapted to tarmac conditions. Wilkin just absolutely flying past anybody he can find on the track. I think he's enjoying himself immensely.
He literally is schooling the rest of the field here. Poulter and Cronje, they should be able to run similar kind of lap times. Cronje, I think he's going to run him very close on this one.
Yep, they both have circuit experience as well, as does Hein Laatkan, in fact. So it'll be interesting to see how the Peugeot 206 goes. Wow, I bet you that's what the crowd are there for to see. Look at the sun.
Yeah, look at the sun indeed. That's all they're looking at. They're getting absolutely blinded as they go through the hole in the wall.
Interesting little duel here. We're on board with John Williams on our left-hand side, going past Leroy Poulter, multiple karting champion and also a production car champion, so he knows his way around the circuit.
And that shot really just highlighted the fact that the gear ratios on Williams' car was wrong. No way that Poulter should have driven past him. And then you've got the BP Polo freight train.
Charles Wilkin goes on to set the fastest time in the stage. Not a big surprise there. Talking about the 2 Volkswagens, Geniel de Villiers in the number 8 car. Of course, he's not only a multiple touring car champion, but as we all know, he won the Dakar Rally, and he's not doing his teammate any favor by pulling the tires in front of him.
Yeah, clipped the tires nicely. Unfortunately, Laatkan nowhere to go there, but also running some sweet times on the only remaining Pertec Peugeot out there.
Joining the fray, Mohamed Musa and the Team Total Toyota Auris. Oh, and here's an interesting situation. This is Damso lining up Laatkan on the inside of Cape Town corner, but that's the wrong line and the wrong speed. Pays the price for it.
Like a scene from X Games there. Very rarely do these guys get to go bar to bar.
Klaassen being chased by Dippenaar. This is a battle for 15th overall. Look at the understeer in that Monster Energy drink. Subaru, of course, that car's about 200 kgs heavier than anybody else as well.
Yeah, she's a big girl, hard to get stopped.
So Ford dominates there, no surprises, with Wilkin 6.2 seconds faster than Rothenbach, Cronje in 3rd, and Habich leading the Volkswagen contingent outside the top 5 ahead of Fecken, Kuhn and de Villiers.
We stay on the tarmac at Killarney for the super special 3.2 kilometers. Very, very exciting racing in the night.
This is where teams are paired against each other, 2 crews at a time, trying to set the fastest time in the stage. And the added difficulty now, The darkness has fallen.
And it's going to be so tight when they go around this track. When you see them going into the pits, there's literally no room for error.
So the first pairing, Cronier and Houghton versus Rotenbach and Klinger. And who's going to come up trumps in this situation and in these conditions?
We've seen in the daytime, at least, that the Fords can run some hot pace around here. But at nighttime, you have to back it off ever so slightly.
They were so close when they did the individual stage earlier on. Of course, a much longer distance. Just look at this. This is what you were talking about, Matt.
It looks like they're pulling in to stop. No, this is still racing.
Left tightens narrow onto track. 300 up. Late max left maybe tightens, and we keep left, huh?
Wow, Cronier just going past there.
That's the best advice he's been given all year long. We keep left, huh? Yes, otherwise you get plowed.
So tricky in these conditions. You don't know exactly where the lines are, the breaking points and that sort of thing. And as they cross the line, it is Cronier who crosses it first.
So two Fords have been the first men out to go at it. Now you're going to see it's going to be VW versus Toyota, which should be a pretty equal pairing as well. This is Keen and Gimmel.
And this is a good illustration of exactly how this super special stage works. They split on the main straight. The one crew goes into the pits while the other goes on along the circuit, and then in the next lap they swap around.
Tight and twisty on lap number 1 for Keen, and then it's flat out for the Toyota of Gemmel.
Be interesting to see how Gemmel approaches this. He knows he's probably not going to be the fastest on this stage. Wilkin probably going to win it again, but he has to defend that 7.3 second gap over his teammate Leroy Poulter.
Gemmel still ran a top 5 time in the daylight, so he's got something to defend. And remember, Toyota Rally still sees 2 Toyota drivers running first and second respectively.
Nobody's going to take any unnecessary chance here, and as they go across the line, it is in fact Gemmel that takes it from Kuhn.
A Ford versus VW pairing, and into the pit complex comes Feckin.
Currently lying in 5th position overall, just a fraction of a second, in fact 0.2 of a second ahead of Wilkin as they come into this stage. So he's probably going to lose that position, I think it's fair to say, if Wilkin, that is, takes the expected stage victory.
Williams on a stage where he should be making up some time, unfortunately still battling with those gear ratios and seeing himself slide down.
Williams currently in 10th position. I think he'll be pretty happy with that.
Tiptoeing into the pit complex. Those are pretty wide cars as well, so hard to slide their way through those gaps.
Also keeping in mind that they are 4-wheel drive, and that makes it very, very difficult to get them through sweeps like these or very tight and twisty bits like in the pit complex. And it is, in fact, Feckin that takes that victory.
Drills the point home as well. Wilkin, though, earlier on today, he was the fastest man on this track in daylight. We know he's got the setup on the car as well. Let's see what he can do. But he's up against a hard challenger. Poulter should run in close on this one.
This should be a very, very good contest. And from the overall standings point of view, Wilkin coming into this stage in 6th place overall. He's not going to challenge for a top 3 position overall afterwards. He's certainly going to try and get closer to the 2 Toyotas heading up the standings.
He's gone from a 9th to a 3rd to a 1st, and this should be able to help him climb up the ranks as well.
He is so good, he's so smooth. Just turns a little bit too early there, and Wilkin takes a comfortable stage victory over Leroy Poulter. In the 2-wheel drive category, Ashley Ake-Smith and James Aldridge lead the S1600 class with 1 minute 12.1 seconds over Chad Conradi and Kez Naidu, who are 25.6 seconds ahead of Christoph and Celeste Snyders. In the S1400 class, Dolph Coetzee and Henry Adams are on top.
At the end of day number 1 then, Johnny Gimmel has a 6.1 lead over his teammate Leroy Poulter. That's 2 Toyotas at the top of the pile. Charles Wilkin, though, has closed on them into 3rd.
Ergen Feckin and Pierre Aris lead the Volkswagen Charge in 6th position, and Mark Cronier and Robin Houghton down in an unfamiliar 7th. Join us after the break for day 2 action from the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally.